Hey family, welcome back to a new video and a new episode of Living in Atlanta for Real. It starts right now. Let's go. All right, family, so you've already seen the title. Today we're going to be hanging out and I'm going to be showing you around Reynoldstown neighborhood here in Atlanta, Georgia. First, let me introduce myself to all of you guys that are here for the very first time. My name is Raymond Riley Jr. and I am a real estate broker here in Atlanta. I work with buyers and sellers that are looking to relocate to Atlanta, as well as buyers and sellers that are already here. So if you need any of my real estate assistance, feel free to give me a phone call, shoot me a text message, and let's get that consultation scheduled so that we can determine if we will be a good fit to go on that journey together as client agent. All right, so if you need me, give me a call. Now, if you are a subscriber or a frequent viewer, thank you so much for coming back to another awesome video here with Atlanta, Georgia Living and myself. Again, as I said, we're gonna take a look around the historic neighborhood of Reynoldstown, which is an Intown neighborhood here in Atlanta. I'm excited about this one because I really do enjoy Reynoldstown. It's a very quiet yet vibrant little Intown neighborhood. So what I endeavor to do is give you some history about the place, show you a few of the key landmarks here, and overall give you a good understanding of what Reynoldstown has to offer if you're thinking about considering in-town neighborhoods. And by the way, if you like these type of videos, we're talking about the different in-town neighborhoods, go ahead and hit the main channel page and find the Living in Atlanta for Real series, where you can see 6 other episodes just like this, taking you through in-town neighborhoods of Atlanta. This is episode number 7, my lucky number. So this one's gonna be a good one. Let's go. All right, so the little history on the in-town neighborhood of Reynoldstown. Reynoldstown is the first, or one of, let me be accurate, one of the first African-American neighborhoods in the city of Atlanta. It was actually founded back in the 1800s, and it's named after a gentleman by the name of Madison and his wife, Sarah Reynolds. And they were some of the first post-slave landowners here in Atlanta, who operated a store. I don't know if it was a general store or some type of store there on Wiley Street. And that is how the neighborhood got its name, after Madison and Sarah Reynolds. One of the things you'll know about Reynoldstown is it's very, very quiet. It gives you a community feel. You got tree-lined streets, and you have historic homes. The neighborhood was officially annexed into the city of Atlanta in 1909. And in 2003, the neighborhood received its official national designation as a historic district. So Reynoldstown is a historic area here in Atlanta. One of the biggest differences you'll see when I turn the camera around is the picturesque type of tree-lined southern streets that you probably have seen if you've ever come to Atlanta and have come to appreciate as well. So it is quite different from other in-town neighborhoods that kind of put their emphasis on the high street and the different eateries and bars and things like that. Here in Reynoldstown, it is very much so community oriented, but all of those great things are adjacent. Notably, Edgewood. Edgewood is one of the premier shopping districts that is adjacent to Reynoldstown. And if you don't know any better, you would think you were in Reynoldstown when you were at the Edgewood retail area, even though it has Edgewood in the name. But that is how close the neighborhoods back up or stack up to each other. So Reynoldstown does have adjacent proximity to shopping and things like that, and the bars and the taverns and all of that type of stuff. But just inside of Reynoldstown itself, it is a very tranquil, community-oriented setting. So I'm going to turn the camera around now so you can see it, and then we're going to go into the park here, one of the only community parks here for Reynoldstown, and that is Lang Carson Park. And they're actually doing improvements on the park, and it's all neighborhood funded as well. So super dope neighborhood. So let me turn the camera around and show you this main street here, and then we're going to talk about more good facts and fun facts about Reynoldstown. All right, y'all, so here's one of the streets, and I think that this is a huge, and I didn't even plan this. This wasn't a part of like my planning for the video, but look at this big, beautiful modern home here. That is actually a townhouse or a duplex type of setting. It has A unit and a B unit, and it's a stacked townhouse. And guess what is nestled right beside? Right beside this little bungalow here. Look at that, little two-story bungalow home there, right up beside it. And that is remnants to the historic sense of Reynoldstown. And then to the right of that, you even go smaller to one of the original, probably 1800 construction frame of that bungalow cottage look here in Reynoldstown. So this is Reynoldstown. This road is the exact epitome of what it is and how the area has evolved. And so this is really, really nice to capture. And again, I wasn't planning it, but I'm glad we got to see it here. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and walk into, like, as I said, Lane Carson Park, which is the community park here for the historic Reynoldstown community. And as I said before, the improvements that they're planning to do, they're breaking it down into multiple phases. They're actually in phase, I want to say phase 3 of the redevelopment of this park. And as I said, it is all funded by a neighborhood nonprofit organization here, I believe, that is centered around the improvements here for Reynoldstown. And these efforts are led by actual residents of the area. So that's always nice to see. So if you're looking for a true in-town neighborhood with that community feel, not necessarily the skyscrapers and condos and lofts, but you really want a single family detached home and have a sense of community, then you definitely may want to consider Reynoldstown. So looking at those houses on the street there, it really took me into my segue of the housing development. So one of the things about Reynoldstown, it is a mixed development, but it is one of those areas that has went through gentrification, and the demand is soaring for the area. All right, many properties remain those shotgun houses, the bungalows, the cottages, and then, as you saw, those modern homes butted up right next door. As of pretty much last month, the median sold price or home sales price here in the area for Reynoldstown is about $708,000. Okay, $708,000 is the approximate median values in the area. So the area is experiencing that gentrification and an increased demand. So just keep that in mind, which are impacting the home values. So this is the park here on the inside. I'll kind of keep it here. We got some little babies doing their thing, but you got open green areas here. You have a tennis court over in the corner there, and you have some swings and a little jungle gym with a really, really tall slide. So I'll get to the other end of the park here in a second so that you can see the back end. I believe it actually has a basketball court as well. So a full, well-rounded park here for the residents of Reynoldstown. And then you have a nice little pavilion area here in the distance. So super nice area. And a super nice park that is continuing to go through some improvements along the way. And then just back here is another little play area for the kids, that turf area and 2 slides. And then another little one here for the smaller tots to have their own little escape as well. So super nice, super, super nice. All right, so let's transition the conversation to kind of the walkability, right? So this is an in-town neighborhood. Reynoldstown is an in-town neighborhood. So there is tons of walkability here that you have access to. I mean, it's just, the location is superior. The exact location to Reynoldstown in proximity to Atlanta is it sits exactly to the east of downtown Atlanta for that situational awareness. There are several local events that take place here in Reynoldstown. They have this notable thing called the Wheelbarrow Festival. I've never been to the Wheelbarrow Festival, but if you become a resident of Reynoldstown, you can go to the Wheelbarrow Festival. But anyway, it's a place where food and music kind of collide, and you're able to meet your fellow residents. All right, so yeah, walkability is definitely high, as you could imagine. Also, tons of proximity to the Atlanta MARTA system, the Atlanta Public Transit. There's a station here called Emmett Park, Reynoldstown, which is a combination station because Emmett Park sits to the back of Reynoldstown. That's another neighborhood, which we'll check out eventually. So you do have that direct access to the MARTA system living here in Reynoldstown, okay? Last thing on the walkability before we exit the park. The building that's in view is actually an old recreation center, so an old rec. I don't know if it's still functional or not. I think it is. But that is the building that's in the distance. It kind of looks like an old elementary school that I used to go to here in Atlanta. But anyway, one of the things I want to add about the walkability is the proximity to the Atlanta Beltline. So Reynoldstown is directly on the Beltline, the East Side Trail. So you can assess that really, really easily living here in Reynoldstown. And that'll connect you to multiple different trails and systems to take you all throughout the Beltline connection points. All right, so we're gonna get back up to the front of the park now, and I wanna show you some of the upcoming developments that's actually happening for Reynoldstown. As we said, or as I said before, it is still thriving and still growing, and there's a lot of gentrification that's going on, a lot of things that are changing. There's a huge development taking place right in the distance there. So I want to kind of talk to what that's going to be. And then we're going to head out to another notable, and this is all still a part of the park, by the way. We're going to head to another section of Reynoldstown so that you can see that Reynoldstown do not have a main street or a high street or a broad street or just like a strip where there's tons of shops and things like that. It does not have that. So it has all proximity and adjacent to those type of things. But what it does have is a new area called Madison Yards. So I'm gonna take you over to Madison Yards and show you that. And then we'll end up at the Atlanta Dairies, which is another redevelopment that's happening here in Reynoldstown. Taking an old dairy farm or dairy, what do you call it? Like a dairy plant or basically an old dairy facility and converting it to an area with shops and restaurants. And I believe they have a brewery that's in there as well. So we're in there and yeah, show you a little bit more of Reynoldstown. All right, so this is the development that I wanted to bring to your attention. It kind of gives you this big picture ideal of where things are here in the neighborhood. I believe this is where the Stein Steel is planning to be. This is where we're standing right here, right now, the Lane Carson Park. And then to the north, you have that the Madison Yards there in their diagram. But essentially, Stein Steel is planned to be a multi-block development along the Beltline here in Reynoldstown, and it's transforming from a former steel mill. So we kind of see some of the stacked stone townhouses in the view. This area will include condos, townhomes, and stacked terraced homes, starting at around $500,000 for a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath. All right. There's also a development for a 9,000 square foot open air restaurant called Breaker from the same site, on the same site somewhere over here. I don't have the schematics right in front of me, like the full map. So we're gonna just kind of walk the corner and take a right and look into Stein Steel. All right, so that's a huge development. There are also several other developments that are taking place here in Reynoldstown. About 4 other multi-family developments are in construction right now, including adding on to the Madison Yards. So tons of things happening from a developmental standpoint here in Reynoldstown. All right, so from this view, it looks like things are rocking and rolling. And the stack terrace units, you know, I have no idea what a stacked terrace is. I guess it's like, I have no idea. So I'm gonna look that up and really give you guys the definition. I've never used that one before, a stacked terrace. Yeah, interesting. But it looks really nice. Empire, the developer here, they seem to be developing every Intown neighborhood townhouse here in Atlanta. But you're seeing a little bit more of the neighborhood and the walkability, right? So I've been walking on sidewalks ever since I started this video and going into the park and then just walking around. So if you, again, going back to that walkability, it is definitely there. So you can walk and you can, you know, get everywhere you want to go on foot here in Reynoldstown. Super nice. So with all of the development that's happening, what does that mean to you and for you, right? So the different considerations. So for home buyers, obviously, a good time to buy right now because prices are still not at its peak yet, right? So with all of the investments that's happening here in Reynoldstown, the prices will continue to go up. They're not going to come down. So this is a good time to consider if you are liking these offerings with these townhomes. And we'll come out here and do more filming of what they look like in the inside so we can really understand what a stacked terrace really is. And for renters, as I said, there are 4 other different developments that's happening right here in Reynoldstown. So there are gonna be more opportunities and available units for rental. And for existing residents, obviously your property values, preserving those property values and really making sure that people are still considering and wanting to call Reynoldstown home. And then from that amenities and infrastructure standpoint, the more people come in, the more commercial spaces will follow, right? The more opportunities that, those businesses want to have to get in front of those residents. So it's continuing to drive the infrastructure here. And then from the investment and the value aspect, obviously all of that intertwined presents and gives value. So really, really nice overall. As I said before, Reynoldstown is one of my favorite neighborhoods just for that quietness and just kind of off to the side doing its own thing. And you really do get to live a good quality of life from a standpoint of what suburban quality gives you. You can kind of blend that with that in-town vibe here in Reynoldstown. All right. So these are all of the completed roads here in the Stein Steel area. And then these are the ones that are still in development. But yeah, we'll definitely come back out here and take a look at it. We're gonna continue down the road here. Kirkwood Avenue is where I am. And we're coming up to the one of the entrances to the Atlanta Beltline. I just wanna kind of show you guys what that looked like. I have not done any extensive videos on the Beltline because it's such a huge system. It would take me a long time to really kind of work that through, but we will do it. We will do it one day. Just keep, you know what? Hit the subscribe button. Comment down below if you want to see that footage. If you want Raymond to do some Atlanta Beltline coverage here on the channel, let me know. This is, let me know. That's the only way I'll know that it's worth doing. So, but this is the entrance here. So as I said, it butts up right to the Beltline, okay? And super nice. I mean, I enjoy the Beltline. And now that the weather is getting a little cooler, we'll bring those skates out, baby. We gotta bring the skates out. But yeah, this is the Beltline. So yeah, let's continue on with taking you guys over to Madison Yards, showing you that, and then we'll move on with the video.
To all the doubters, to those who don't believe, this is the hour. You'll see that we'll make ladders out of obstacles and stepping stones from roadblocks. Leap over the lines to say we won't cross. We'll trick canyons like they're nothing. They won't see us coming. Scale all of the walls they built to hold us. We may be invisible, but we'll be unmistakable. We may be invisible. They may be blind to me, just wait and see. Those filled with jealousy, the naysayers pay us for defeat, but we'll make make ladders out of obstacles and stepping stones from roadblocks. Leap over the lines to say we won't cross. We'll shake hands like they're nothing. They won't see us coming. Scale all of the walls they built to hold us. We may be invisible, but we'll be unmistakable. We may be invisible. They may be blind to me, just wait and see. Just wait and see. Just wait and see. Just wait and see. Just wait and see.
Last time I warned y'all, now this time I'm just sending shots. Thought that I was some yes man, I'm about to show y'all that I'm really not. Me and mine was really on the bottom, now we way up at the tippy top. No bull, unless we talking flipping stocks. Don't mess around or you getting got. Can't see through it cause it's tinted out. Yeah, ooh, I'm on the way. Game time, who wanna play? I showed up just to ruin your day. Count my green till I'm blue in the face. I don't wanna talk, please give me my space.
All right, family, so we've made it to Madison Yards. Let me just tell you what is here. So when I start showing you stuff, you'll have a good understanding. So Madison Yards is a mixed use residential and commercial area. It is the hub for the grocery store as well as an entertainment option, which is the AMC theaters is here. And then there are several other restaurants in here and services, like smaller boutique services like hair salons and those type of things. So that's what Madison Yard consists of. It really does serve as the epicenter here for Reynoldstown in the neighborhood. As I told you before, Reynoldstown is adjacent to other neighborhoods that have more robust retail opportunities, particularly Edgewood. It would be the next option. But yeah, I just want to show you this huge AMC. It's not that old. Madison Yards is probably about 5-6 years old, I think. So if that, so it's a very, decent little area here with all of the offerings that I think you would come to expect in our society today in 2025, especially if you're in-town minded. This is going to be right down your alley. So I'll flip the camera around, show you, and then we'll continue on. All right, so here's that mixed-use development here going on. You can see the townhomes in the distance. That was a part of the construction prior to the retail or the commercial side of things. There's some public parking spaces here as well as the AMC. So this is a huge AMC theater. I don't know how many theaters they have inside as far as the exact amount of, theaters, but I would say an adequate enough amount. And then I'm gonna give you another view here of all of the little retail opportunities here, shopping opportunities. So we have, orthodontics, we have yoga, travel agency, and we have a suite of, beauty supply, beauty salons, and then a dentist's office. And then you have a bank there on the end cap, Truist Bank. And then across the way, you have the Publix grocery store here, and more opportunities for shopping on this strip here. So yeah, it's pretty well equipped. You have a eatery there on the end, a restaurant. What is that? Girl Diver? Okay. Yeah, so that is what we see here. And then, let's see, there's more residential multifamily living down on the backside, and then the interstate is there as well. So that is pretty much the little circle here of Madison Yards. And then we have, I'll show you the front side of the road as well. And the street that Madison Yard is off of is Memorial Drive, which is a long road here in Atlanta. It's a major artery. It actually connects Atlanta to Decatur. So yeah, very, very long road. Yeah, just want to show you this side over here so you can see Memorial Drive. Welcome to Atlanta's finest. You know what? We'll walk down and see the front side of this little strip here. Yeah, as soon as I have an opportunity to walk. All right, so let's see what we have. We have a nail bar up top. Are they moving? Well, did we used to have a nail bar? I guess we used to have a nail bar because it looks like it's for lease, and those doors are, yeah. So there's that. Wow, that's metalworks. Okay, so back in the day, guys, this is a little segue here, just showing my age a little bit here. So this complex was the thing back in the day, metalworks. And it started that whole barndominium or barndominium? Like the barn condos. So barndominium or whatever, however you say that word. But yeah, this was a really, I think, trend forward approach with the whole metal concept. Yeah, but turning the trailer type thing look, but it was really the thing back in the day. Barndominium, that's the word I was trying to say. GNC Live Well is there. Got a cleaners here on the end. Please use the front entrance. So I guess this is the back entrance. And then what we have here, we have a barber shop salon for men. Okay. Looks really bougie. How about that? Okay, I like it. I like me a little bougie every now and again. Muchachos is there on the corner. And then we have Hoots Wings by Hooters. Oh, wow. So it must be like their little offshoot of their smaller version restaurant. So again, tons of opportunity here for eating. You got Taqueria, Tsunami. But yeah, really nice. You guys are seeing the heart of it. And this is gonna connect back to, you remember, back to the beltline. And it goes right there. So this is where we were earlier. If you take that route all the way to the end, that's where we started. So these are all of the offerings here at Madison Yards, okay? So yeah, we'll go ahead and head over to the Atlanta Dairies, and we'll put a wrap on this video. Memorial Drive, though, as I told you before, it does, so Reynoldstown doesn't technically have a high street. So Memorial Drive and Moreland is really the main areas where you're gonna find shopping for Reynoldstown. And let's see, we got more stuff down here, but this is the official little sign there that's telling you where you are in Madison Yards. And again, we didn't see the Publix because it's insulated, but there is a Publix supermarket there. And what is this? Okay, Kilwins. Okay, ice cream. I love their ice cream. Not bad. And then, of course, you see the MARTA stop there. So yeah, very, very well-rounded area. Let's see what is here on the corner. We have a coffee house here, Daily Dose Coffee. So if you're into coffee, you can get your daily dose. I like that name, man, catchy. All right, so we'll go ahead and catch up at the Atlanta Dairies. Now I gotta go back and find my car. I left it on one of these streets. So we just gotta find the car and then we'll move on.
Salió el sol y yo quiero comer tu boca de desayuno, un wake and bake y un mañanero pa' que me eleve como el humo. Chori, qué bien te queda ese bikini, bebé, contigo yo me voy sin mini. Ay, 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 baby,
right, so we have arrived to the parking garage for the Atlanta Dairies. Just to tell you what it is, because again, I don't think I explained it too well, but basically now it has one restaurant, I think, and 3 taverns. And there's a green space in the front that they host different events like movie nights and things like that. So that's what the function is, or that's what the space is used for. I do not know if they are open at this point because I am here quite early, but we will see. If I can get you inside, I will. You got some little, let me get you this little brand in here of the Atlanta Dairies so you can see it. But the history of this place is it actually used to be a dairy mill where milk was sold to the Atlanta natives in this neighborhood. So it was the sole provider of milk to the area, and it all took place in the original building, and they've annexed and added different portions to it and all different things like that. But you can kind of see part of the old building there, and then it kind of flanks out, if you will. But just to show you the directory here, these are the places that are inside and the things that are inside, okay? But definitely if you decide to choose Reynoldstown as your neighborhood, you'll definitely have access to this area, and you'll probably find yourself coming here often, especially on the weekends and things like that. So this is the Atlanta Dairies, okay? All right, family, so I hope you've enjoyed taking a look at Reynoldstown and all that it has to offer. I am on my way to show you guys a listing here. It's gonna be one of those townhomes, those attached townhomes, but only 2 units, so like a duplex townhouse. So that's what I'm about to film for you guys. So if you want to see that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button right now. Hit it right down in front of you, and YouTube will notify you as soon as I have uploaded that video, so that you can take a look at the inside of one of these offerings. And then from there, I have another one to show you as well. So the next 2 uploads will be all about Reynoldstown. So if you are interested, definitely hit that subscribe button. And if you need any of my help, feel free to reach out to me. All of my contact information is in front of you. So I would love to assist you, schedule a consultation, and we can get that conversation started about your relocation and your overall goals. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.